Alright, good evening everyone, welcome to the channel. Tonight we are in our multiplayer stream, which is our Minecraft SMP. And... camera. I must have nudged my camera. Or at least nudged the position on the screen. I'll have to fix that up. It's given me a... Unless I've set the size wrong. Anyway, we're in our Minecraft SMP. So where did we get to last week? We finished our big build. Is it all coming up? Alright. Wait for it to load in well enough. So this was our build from last week. Well, from the last few weeks. We'll fly across to the lookout type position. Alright, so if you're going to be doing the journey on our normal route down to the Pajama Castle build, which is actually tucked into the cave here, then as you round this bit here, you're going to see what's called 5 arches. Now, I mean, there's a possibility probably for a bit more textural difference, but we're kind of bound by the stuff we've got at the moment. But that works anyway. So you can come down here, you turn the corner, just then see the Pajama Castle build. There's a turn-off point just before the corner, which will take you up across the canyon over here at 5 arches. And if you drop down, come in, g'day Cherry Blossom Wolf, very good, thank you. Yourself? So you come through here, you've got your, well actually, I would say barracks, but that's the dining room. This end doesn't have the extra rooms built in, but you got bedding, actual quarters there, and they access their patrols up top. It's not a pirate ship. It's like a fortified bridge, in a way. In fact, that's one of the things we're looking at building today, is working on something like that. So down here you've got a very small stables. Across here you got, a variety of rooms and places. You got a chapel, and in on here you've got the priest's quarters. That's got a decent look out there. Over this side you lead into basically rich people's house. You got a balcony looking out over that way. Oh, you are? Oh, that's good. I've got a couple of ship builds to do at some point. But yeah, I've got a lot of land builds to go for yet. I got balconies and things like this. Well, in fact, what I'll do is I'll fly around the server and show you all the different builds I've put in over time. Other players have done their own builds and stuff too. Now, there's an upstairs along here. You got mostly little rooms and stuff like that. There's an actual library up over the top of the chapel. This is another set of rooms and stuff. Oh yeah, no, it is. Let me chuck in where to find it. Now, it is open. The best bet, well, how to join is you head for the Discord, and in the Discord you'll find a channel called Multiplayer Server Details, and it's got the mod pack and the 2 additional mods that need to be loaded. It's also then, there's a link in the YouTube channel to a instruction video I've got on my second channel, which walks through installing the mod, installing alternate Minecraft launchers, getting the mod up and running, like what the mods are, and getting up and running. Then when all that's done, you drop back in, DM me a username, and I'll add you to the whitelist, and you'll be up and running. And then we've got like a small farm, chook sheds around the other side. This is the top of the rich people's place. You can't actually access it. There's a tiny little spiral place up there. It's getting dark. Down this end, we have a tower set of rooms, and then upstairs as well, very richly decorated. And you got like a small bar type thing. This house here goes upstairs, and there's like 2 or 3 rooms, and then off this is a covered balcony to watch the sunset. You may as well sleep. Well, I mean, you're welcome to. I mean, happy just to watch. It's not a heavy mod set. It's design. I mean, we've had people play who say their PCs are potatoes. It's not meant to be vastly modified. It's just lightly modded. In here you got like the commander's quarters. On the other side, you've got storeroom, sick bay and storeroom, and then upstairs you got a similar sort of arrangement as you had on the other side. And I mean, we'll fly out and have a look. Now, downstairs, this end we have a lot of storerooms, and in fact, this storeroom connects into the house on the ground floor. Big, massive storeroom down here, and then another storeroom in there. Come down the far end, there's a bunch of sleeping quarters and stuff. These are toilets, yep. Bunch of sleeping quarters and rooms on the ground floor. And there's a balcony. The well. There's a place down here. A small couple of rooms, another set of toilets. There's some more storage, and then in here we've got a big bar and like a tavern that then connects through to sleeping quarters, all underground, etc. And so, yep, it's a fortified bridge. The map that I took the design features from is called 5 Arches, and it's got there's a plaque, there's a sign indicating that. But there it is, 5 arches. One big arch, 1, 2, 3, 4 little arches, and they go all the way through to the sea bottom as well, river bottom. And you got balconies and stuff out this side. And then it connects through to the path. And we have our overworld highways paths connect everywhere in the overworld. So all the bases and places of interest and stuff. So the build I did before that one was Predjama Castle, which, if you've seen it, is a real castle in Europe, tucked inside a cave. I didn't have the elevated cave, but we managed to fit it in. All of the rooms are done. You get your connection in from down here, all the different quarters and stuff. Oh yeah, look, in fact what I'll do is I'll go all the way back to... So, when I started the server and started up, the first thing I generally build is a small, well, in this case it was a tower, a tower hall, and this is actually well, except for most of the other buildings, the tower and chapel or town hall is my hardcore build basing. In other words, the spawn point in hardcore will be inside this building, and then I flatten an environment, build the walls and towers and stuff. And then over time, I've added things like a post office, the world nether portal, an inn and stables, a bank, warehousing. Over the back's a big military barracks, and then off to the side we've got the stables. So yeah, main hall. Now this was built but not decorated in survival. I then used obviously a bit more creative to help fill it out. I've got my general manager here to help things out, and then my private quarters up the top of the tower. And the actual world spawn, I think, is inside the hall there. And generally, if I was just playing by myself, I'd then continue this downstairs level where I might have my storage, a small workroom. I'd have my underground farms running. Then downstairs I have my mines, which go all the way to bedrock, both ways. And here I've added an enchanting room and lava room. And for the sake of people working who I don't give creative to, I've put in a mob grinder, a long drop mob grinder as well. People have built their own mob grinders and stuff as well. So my intent with running the server is that it's hard survival, keep inventories turned off, but I am very generous with providing people supplies and things like that. We have things like, do I have it on? Yep, backpacks, which whatever you have in them, if you die while wearing a backpack, it'll be placed at your death location with whatever was in it at the time. So you've got plenty of opportunity to come back and get it. We got a bit of a server currency for trading with our NPC traders. And this bank even has, I mean, they've dropped some money on the floor. It has the big executive meeting room upstairs. And so you can talk to the NPCs and, hang on, wrong one. And they'll trade with you to give what you need. So yeah, the currencies are based on copper to iron, iron to gold, gold to emerald, emerald to diamond. But there's nothing stopping people from running their own farms or trading halls and things like that. I got our inn with our tavern downstairs. Someone's been through recently and left all the doors open. Kitchen out the back. Now this guy will actually give you food depending on your answer. And there's tons of space upstairs. His proximity trigger gets a bit sensitive. So yeah, clearly someone's been through and opened up all the doors to the rooms upstairs, and you got your big rooms down the end. And so his proximity trigger is going to go off again. And we have a mail system on the server. So you come and talk to the postie with his stables for his post horse, is where you get your mailbox system. You purchase your mailboxes to receive mail, to send mail, the e-cells and the chests and shulker boxes. And you can also post mail there, and there's an ender chest sitting right there. And then basically decorating things like warehousing. We've got our, what are you wandering around for? Barracks down here, the CO's office, admin, storage, the officers' quarters down here. Give me out what you get. It's in the, if you're in the Discord, you'll find a channel called Multiplayer Server Details. And in fact, give me 2 seconds. We just cover this up for a sec. I'll grab the link. Right, I'll drop the link in chat for you. Wave hello. In fact, let me copy link. So that's the link to the channel. Yeah, I found you. So, and in there you'll find a walkthrough of the mod pack, and then the couple additional mods like with links to CurseForge and or Modrinth to install, and it walks through it all. And if I can find the YouTube, it's buried in my YouTube somewhere, way back, but it's on the secondary YouTube channel. If you need help installing it all. And what I like to get people to do is make sure that it actually loads up and runs, and then it should be good from there. All right, back in. We're coming back in. We are. Okay. So that was the downstairs. Well, so over this side we have unit admin. We've got our infirmary and our surgeon's room. And then upstairs we have our ablution area for the troops, storage, one barracks room, 2 barrack rooms. And yeah, so the idea is people can play as vanilla or not as they want. I mean, I'm more than happy to, generally hand out resources. There's some people who basically play it almost creative with how cheap the resources are and how much I've given out. Others, just sort of ditch most of the mod pack additional stuff and play it full on, like vanilla-ish. All right, there's our stables for our cavalry. Then, because we link everybody's bases through the Nether hub, we have ourselves a Nether train station on the roof, well, just under the roof of the Nether. And so you've got our ticket sales there. Yeah, NPCs just chilling out. The conductor, who if you talk to them, they'll walk you through what you need to do. You get your various rail networks for easterly, southerly, and westerly base connections. And if you're not sure who lives where, each of the lines will tell you where they are. And there's a cafe along with a chef. And then this is actually moved up from the original portal. I was fortunate enough, the original portal landed directly in a fortress. And then we found a blaze spawner not far off. So there's actually a blaze XP farm downstairs. And the fortress if you want to go in and muck around in the Nether. But one of my intentions the whole way through was that the server would have this lived-in experience, that it makes sense what's where in the server. So I put in these highways to connect places and people and everything else. And one of the first things was like, well, you've got to have the food and trades to do that. And we've got obviously trading system set up. And so you come walk through into the farm area, and we've got massive pumpkin, melon, sugarcane, beetroot, carrot and potato on the other side, and wheat on the far side. Along with the farmer's house and barn and well and all that sort of stuff. Now, how do we trade this stuff? And all of this is legitimately planted too, so that's saturated. So yeah, all the crops are growing in growable locations. You come up here and have a chat to the farmer's kids. So if you want to sell your crops for terrible stuff, or buy at reasonable rates. You'll have the food, and there's an ender chest if you needed it. Farmer's house, all decorated and stuff. Then we have a dye farm and dye cellar down here. So there's a paddock out the back here that he looks after that's got each of the dye producing plants. And he's got a little dye workshop down here. I don't have him in the server as such just yet. So he's drying out crops and making the dyes. And he's got his little cottage that he lives in. Then we hit across the bridge. And each of the bridges too are unique in their design. We have the bakery and silos and mill. So we come in, got some customers, have a chat to the baker, and it's all the baked goods being sold for reasonable prices. If you move them out of the way, you got the kitchen out the back, and then the dry goods store, and then there's the mill. And the miller would live in here, etc. So all that sort of stuff. It's designed to make it feel like it's a lived-in world, that everything makes sense for the scale we're trying to work at. So here's our carrot fields. And I had to do a fair bit of terrain modification, not only to get the crops to fit, but to limit it to one block step-ups in different locations. That is quite a large wheat field, for example. We come up over the top and we move away from the crops into the start of our... Oh, there's our potato. There's more wheat over there. Start of our animal fields. And so we've got paddocks for sheep, horses over the back. On this side we've got pigs. Behind them we've got, at the back we've got horses. We've got more sheep over here with a shearing shed. There's cows out the back that way. Pigs and cows this way. And if you look at it, there's access paths to move animals. Like I can move the horses from over here all the way over to this side by following the gates, the farm gate connections, and not interfering with the other animals, etc. There's our shearing shed. Someone let a lot of chickens out. So we've got sheep lined up ready to be shorn, the shearing stations, wool that's been collected, and then once the animal's been shorn, it gets tossed out the back to rejoin the flock. Check those buildings in a sec. If we hang a left across yet another bridge, we go past the chook sheds. I think someone went in and grabbed some eggs. Then up past the dairy. So yeah, we've got the milking shed. Alright, so if you give it a second crack, hopefully it'll start up okay. I've had people have no issues loading it the first time. Some people it takes two goes to get it up and running. I don't know what it is. I think there's a mod that doesn't have the config loaded properly, and it panics when there's no config, and so crashes everything. There's the rancher's home, looking after all the animals. He's rotary hill, his clothesline, stables. Then we've got a fisherman living over there in a tent. Come back. Yeah, no, I can tell someone's been moving around. Got our bookseller. And so downstairs they sell regular books and paper and empty maps. And there's a rare bookseller upstairs, which should the door be closed. And there's like storage rooms. You go upstairs and you talk to the rare bookseller. Oh, right. Fair enough. I don't use CurseForge. I use AT Launcher. But I do know that there is... We do have another regular who does use CurseForge. I try not to talk to them. No, they're fine. There are people using it. It should work. So yeah, there's like fancy books, like high-end books for a reasonable amount of diamonds if you don't want to farm them yourself. And the next building down is the wool mills. So this guy sells wool and wool products, and in white, grey and black. And basically you go down to the dye cellar and purchase dyes to then colour them to your heart's content. And upstairs is the working mill, storage load from the back, etc. Next building down is the tanner, who sells leather and leather-like products and purchases leather. And out the back he's got his tannery with storage upstairs, all that sort of stuff. Again, it's about making the environment feel lived in. And then we've got our butcher down here. And in fact, the best trade at the moment is a gold ingot for 64 steak. So, yeah, that's perfect. So the question is, well, we had the animals out the back. We've got the animal product shops here. How do we get from one to the other? We have ourselves an abattoir, where animals are turned into animal parts. And then, yeah, if you've ever had the fortune or misfortune to see one of these things operating, you'll understand what this area is. The holding pens, and they connect all the way out to the animal yards. And then it all connects through to a supply road at the back to then provide the supplies to each of the shops. And the bookseller doesn't need anything from them. And they've actually got a small apartment for rent out the back. And come back out. And then down on the waterfront, we've got warehousing and docks. So, yeah, variety of dry goods, etc. Okay, so that was the initial stuff. However, the very first thing, well, before I go over there, so you follow these roads around and they'll give you, you'll go across a variety of bridges. Each bridge can be rode under if you happen to be on the waters. We've got ourselves a nice little ruin here, presumably of some people who came before and were unable to make things work. So we come up over the top and, well, keep going. Clear signs there's a lush cave underneath. And you can start seeing the chimneys. We have our kilns. Those glass and clay, glassworks and clay kilns. All the bulk goods out the back. In through the kiln floor. And then to the fine clay and glass sales out the front. And there will be a merchant there. And of course, you need supplies. So obviously sand out the back, red sand as well. But for clay, you come down into the working mine, where you've got clay deposits there and big ones over there. And then a nether portal for the nether rack. Someone planted a... However, the very first thing I put in on the server after my initial tower house was... I'll teleport over. Tree farm. And this was done completely in survival. Basically leveled a mountain and put in a big tree farm that has each of the overworld tree types in its own nicely spaced plantation zone, and there's a double chest at the entrance to each, which generally has saplings and logs and stuff. But then I then developed this idea that we'd have traders providing, NPC traders providing us what we needed, and so this became the first concept, was the forester, and his house was actually the first other house I built. It's still not finished, but out the back here we've got the forester, and ideally his trades aren't set up, but you'll bring in a log and half a dozen sticks of the tree type you want, and then they'll give you a stack of saplings. And because this is where all the wood comes from, we have our lumber mill. So I've got a big water wheel to power it all. Now, with the wheelhouse, the big water wheel, the race and everything else. Got the logs drying out the back. Coming in around the side where they're being turned into planks. They're being dried. Currently drying. And then the workshop where they're being turned into wood products. And then the sales floor. And then we'll go around and show the other merchanty areas, and then I'll show you some of the players have done as well, and then some of the other builds I've put in. So yeah, this path takes you through the jungle here. I was thinking of putting a port in here, but it doesn't really need it. So we'll zoom along. Takes about anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes to get from the southernmost base to world spawn in the overworld. Someone's been depositing things. You come through, there's a path, turns right here, takes you up through the mountain, and you then hit a big factory, which is the stoneworks and metallurgy. And then because it produces stones and metals, we have our armourer and weaponsmith over here, doing horse armours. Who do you belong to? You're wild. And so you come in, and then you've got your various metals and gems and stone byproducts. And then you'll have your hard stone, like your cut black stones, etc. From here, you got your ore being dropped in from the mine, then being washed and pounded and processed and washed again, then being smelted, before then being taken and processed upstairs. And this is where your gems would be separated, etc. You got your overseer's cottage up the top. And then, because it's connected to the mine, come in through the miners' change rooms. And they got their shower block and everything as well. Then they go upstairs for the mine access, and so this is where the ores are dropped off. come back out, and then through to the nether mine, and then out to a 2x2 chunk mine. Now this goes all the way to bedrock. It's got a staircase in one corner and a ladder in another. I haven't quite done the branching just yet, but trust me, it goes all the way to bedrock. And because it's a danger to society, this is all fenced off at the higher levels. And in fact, there's a warning sign. So if you happen to be traipsing through the mountains and not paying attention to what you're doing, or the fact that there's a whopping great big factory down there, you got signs telling you that there's a big pit that you're going to fall in. Back down here, we'll continue. It goes through, there's a whole bunch of paths round we go. More bridges. More path. And the idea is that you can walk or ride a horse the entire length of our road network. Never more than 1 block height of change at any point. Okay, so we'll go by the pass because there's builds up here. You follow the path up. And you come to the potion cellar, which is a brewery and winery. So on this side you got the winery, turning the grapes into grape juice and then being cellared. And on this side you've got the brewery, which is making, well, effectively your potions. And it's sleepy time. No, it's not sleepy time. Come down here, and then there's a gravel path off to the side. And you follow this, it becomes a cobble path. Again, following the same rules, but this one climbs the mountain straight up. Straight up, straight up, straight up. Wiggles its way up. Till we get to a small bridge up to the next one. And we hit the Artificer's Tower. Now the Artificer sells redstone and redstone products, and yeah, somebody flooded this ground floor by mistake, and so took out a whole bunch of goods that were down here. He's got his storage there, and then as you go up, he's got his lab where he's working on things. So that was obviously hopper feeding. Various paths. This one was auto shearing, auto farming, and some auto lights. The further you go up, further we go up. Then we get to like a sitting room, a waiting room, and then we head into the Artificer's private quarters, right at the very top. It's sleepy time. Oh, there's a storm. And so we're back outside. Okay, so we've covered basically this area. There's one more, well, there's some bridges and stuff. That's going to get reworked hopefully tonight. There's a path. There it is. Here's, because they're up in the Badlands, concrete and terracottas. So you get your glazed out there, and your cooked concretes there, and your powders, and your basic terracottas out here. And I think that's it in terms of server infrastructure. Now, I've then done builds on from that. So we'll fly over and show some bridges and some other builds. We're there. The bridge down here I really enjoy because you come around the corner. Not a big bridge or anything, but it's unique because you got an NPC fishing. He's camping. He's got his little campsite going, his campfire, and he's having a fish. And he should turn to follow you as you get close enough. So up and over the bridge, he's going to turn and have a look. And then keep following the path. But not only are each of the bridges unique, but they are fully... where's the bridge? Oh, it's down there. Yeah, you can row under them. They also are designed properly, so they should be viable bridges. Here's the first non-bridge, non-food supplier thing I built. A relatively modern design. Pool house. Someone's been eating my grass. With like 1, 2.5, 3 bedrooms. Yeah, a bit hard to fit into a 1x1 Minecraft build. One of the more recent builds I did is this one. Goes all the way again. Anchored to the seafloor properly, fully developed. I forget the exact name of it. The guy that I borrowed the designs from for Pajama Castle and stuff did this basic design as well. Chateau de Chenonceau. Again, doesn't quite fit the size. Gonna get another little chapel out here with a choir up top. Got a little balcony out the back. Got private quarters and sitting rooms down here. More sitting rooms and stuff. Stairs up. Stairs down. Nope. Stairs down. Stairs down. This will take us down to like staff type rooms. And then there's a small private dock. Storage and everything else. Let's come back out. It was a bit tight getting this to fit the design because the design drawings don't allow for walls that are 1 meter thick. We go through here. It's like a gallery, and there's a set of doors at the far end. We go upstairs. Upstairs is this door. Big balcony windows. Someone's been in here. Got like a massive hall. More quarters. More private rooms. No access out over the thing. There's little towers, little turrets. More private rooms. Balcony. Don't jump off. We go upstairs again. Storage rooms. And that's basically it. Come back downstairs. Ground floor. Got like a drawbridge mechanism to separate the build at this end. It was a bit weird to fit in, but it does. Now, as we go further this way, and this connects into the road network over here as well, there's a bridge, only a little bridge down here, and in fact, there's a northerly connection, which I'll show in a little bit. There's a couple of builds out here. The players out here haven't been on in a while. Up they go. Up and over. And trying to bridge a canyon. Got ourselves like a nice arched, timber arch bridge. With lattice. Then, because we were able to get down to sea level for the next bridge, got a nice little box skirted bridge for the other side. And then, yeah, these guys haven't been on for a bit. You talk about building a pirate ship. One of our players who spent a lot of time and a lot of hours. And they did this all in survival. Built themselves, they call it Roman, Viking-ish, Roman-ish, not quite a trireme. That's their nether portal, is on here. So when you connect to their base through the nether network, you come out on the ship and basically make your way across. He was building in big Roman era type docks. And then was building stables and shops and things, and kind of, I think, burnt out, to be quite honest. He was building it constantly for ages. We had a couple of other builds. Got players with big towers, castles in the sky, that sort of thing. We have a couple other really cool bridges. Players building tree houses, hobbit house, pretty standard forest house. Okay, so that was the 7 bridges. We've got Prejama down there. Before I built Prejama, we put in, there it is, just some builds in the forest. So you're coming along, making your way through the forest, and you come across a Scottish tower house. And this is based on, and I'll do the plaque in a sec, the ground floor storage. This is the current version, which has stairs to the ground floor. Normally it was a ladder when they built it. Coxton Tower, and so real place in Scotland. Ground floor sort of set out as barracks / fighting position. Stairs up through the corner. A dining room, living space on the first floor, and then up the top you've got the main quarters with a balcony and everything else. So yeah, genuine. Well, again, it's a bit squat, but it works. Then we kept going with the idea of having these builds just fit into the environment. And another, a more developed Scottish tower house. This one's more like a manor house. I'm not 100% sure what this... I mean, it's based on a real place. I just don't know what the name of it was. And ground floor storage. Got like a defended position there. Yeah, living space. Kitchens. Then sleeping quarters up here, main room down there. And then attic, workspace, living space up top. And then little turrets and stuff as well. We kept going on from that. Well, we're still working our way through there. We've got a player all the way down the south down here. So his bridges, connections were interesting. So there's a stone and timber bridge there. One of the bridges I'm actually really proud of coming up is a covered bridge, which I built. And then there's a massive bridge down here, which he built. Again, all in survival. And then there's a couple of other timber bridges I put through connecting to his system down here, which he's been working on for a while. One of the bridges, though, that I'm really quite proud of, and I think actually fits the environment really well, is up here. So you come through, follow the path. Hello, puppy. Come through, follow the path. You're coming up to a cherry blossom, to a cherry grove. However, there's a massive canyon between the two, and I couldn't work out how to connect them otherwise. And so we've got this wonderful cherry grove, cherry wood-based suspension bridge connecting the two. And then, yeah, follow that path. We'll take you around over the back of here, I think. No, back of there. Yep, snow above. Drop us down to Pajama Castle, tucked out of the way. Yep, that got that to fit. And that actually is quite a fun build, that one. And then, yeah, the 5 arches fortified bridge connection. Now, time to work on some buildings. I have more designs. The designs I was looking at, let's come over here. Needs a flat space, and we're looking at about 3 chunks. 1, 2, 3. Off this bend here. So it's going to be leveled out. It's not too bad. Yeah, okay, we'll flatten this bit. The joys of Digus Maximus, basically vein miner. Yeah, we need this to be brought down as well. All right, so it's going to be 2 chunks wide. Yes, 2 chunks wide, but we want a bit more. Oh, hang on. What level did I want? I want to put down again. I do. We're going to have to set it back. Okay, so that's going to be it there. Alright, so basically if I terrain shape back here, I think that's going to be decent. Give that a slight pullback. All that. So yeah, I was just saying a couple of weeks back, the issues with this particular set of designs that I found is that it doesn't really account very well for the old Minecraft sizing, which is 1 meter thick walls, 1 meter thick blocks. I do have, in fact, I realized I had full map access, full designs that I didn't need to go chasing around the internet for. Already they're not specifically Minecraft designs, but the way the designer went about making their designs, and I got full access to them, is very much accommodating for Minecraft having a 1x1 build block. Okay, let's take care of that, take care of that. Okay, that looks like the build platform I need. So what we're going to do is, I probably should work from the back and come forward. Possibly. Maybe. This is going to have to get filled in over here too. I mean, I'm going to put flooring in, but still. In essence, it's going to have like a grand avenue. A very short, but still grand avenue coming up. And in fact, pushing for a double doors. And I will give it a double doors. I still have my doors. No, I didn't. All right, we're going to go concrete. No, yes. We're going to use stone blocks. Stone bricks, sorry, as our foundation blocks. So we're going to go entrance. Okay, so that's the very front wall. It's indicating 4 wide. I should get doors. Where are my doors? There. Door. Good enough. Like that. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it says it's only 4, but it needs to be wider. Anyway, let's pretend I'm doing it the way the design goes. Comes back 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. But that's not right. Two, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Another 5, and this isn't going to line up very well. Okay. But in theory, that's more in line with the way the place is designed at the moment. However, I think We're going to push this wall out more effectively. Okay, so it's going to be like that on the inside. 1, 2, 3. Like that, and there'll be a window in the middle like that. That's better. And now we come back one. I mean, I do think those interior rooms are supposed to be bigger. But anyway, we're coming back. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a wall like that. That's foundation. It's 1, 2, 3. And there's stables. 1, 2, 3. Like that. One, two, three, like that. Okay. Now, these exterior wall rooms are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide, and then turn. One, two, three, 4, 5 wide. Like that. Okay, now we are actually going to go brick on this, I think. In fact, what we can do, we might go brick for 2 layers. Sorry, stone for 2 layers, and then brick. Nope. That's a bit better. I think that's supposed to be like a tower turret thing. Anyway. Now we have the correct placement. These interior floors and everything. So these rooms are going to be fairly tiny, but there is fairly square. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't see getting a door and a window in. These walls are done. There's a window at the back. Put a door midway. In fact, they're going to be offset. Put a door there. That place gets a window. No, hang on. That place gets a window. This one gets its door offset and has no additional window. Right, these do not get windows on either side. So what it shows is an interior 1, 2, 3, 4. So these stables technically should only be 2 long. And then this becomes the interior wall, and it runs the full length. And the same goes on the other side. Now, this is going to be a bit wider. That's going to get pulled back. There it is, there like that. And then this comes back. Now, be prepared for this wall to be pushed out again. All right. And in fact, this exterior wall has 0 windows for some reason. Not going to argue the point. Alright, so it comes back level with that. Then there is a set of double doors. In fact, that runs a long way back. There's no windows on that side. Window there. And I dare say we'll push that back internally. And we'll probably go with like, oh, actually no, it says stone. Give that a crack. Flooring. We're going to go with, it looks very pale. We do a birch. I'm going to go birch planks. I mean, birch slabs might work too, but we'll go planks. All right, now. Yeah, this room is going to be sort of unique because I already know that it's got a whole bunch of beds in it. Like that. And then there's a whole bunch of space. And then there's another 4 beds. like that, I think. Now, what we have when we come through here, in fact, where'd my shovel go? Is come through the doors. It's actually paved, but what we'll do is we'll just go dirt for now. Right, so there's an actual again, bit of dirt. Here we go. Alright, we have a formal garden here. So this is too wide because we actually have a colonnade we've got to fit in. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. And then it's like a fountain in the middle. And that should take us over here, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a double door. In fact, come back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Takes me to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Takes me to there. Which means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which means I was basically right. That's a doorway. And the room is not exactly... It is longer down this side, but it's only one. So if I move the beds down like this... Yeah, it looks like there's 2 windows over there. 1 window over there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And 1, 2, 3. And that is where the back part of the building comes to. So I don't recognise the door on that part. Anyway, so I mean, it is a grand avenue, but it's only a short grand avenue. I mean, it would be nice to have pines along it, but I don't get that choice, I don't think. I might be able to put a couple of small ones in. Anyway. So there's a door there. This is a square room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, so like I said, this room is effectively square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. In fact, this is a bit of a corner. Like that. Which means that should be a window there. And according to what I can see, that's the end of the path. Hmm. Okay, so that'll go to there. Like that. And it's a bit of a fancier set of stairs. We want to go quartz stairs. Right, as far as I can tell, these are not windows. Maybe. Or in fact, they could be massive windows. I don't know. They're windows. They're massive windows. Hmm. But that is definitely a wall. So that becomes the gap. That becomes gap. That's about right. Hmm. Yeah, these grass paths are going to be replaced with something shiny soon-ish. All right, that's good there. All right, so now we need to work. Okay, so according to the diagram, this should then come back at 1. That far. Should. I'll get rid of those doors off that and then put them back in again. Entryway here is as wide as the balcony. Yep. We've got one there. A double door there. Then 1, 2, 3. And then similar on this side. Like that. And what it has on the interior is this wall line carries on through. I don't know how far back it goes, but look, that is working. I forgot to put that door in. So that side is effectively done. Over here, we got to go. One gap. And I need to bring that across. Right. Okay, so this is an external wall with no windows. Like that. Not quite rectangular here. Technically, that's... we go there like that. It says there's a door there. No window? Now this then is a set of toilets. That, I should probably just make them like long drops. In fact, I know what I can do. I'll grab, looks like a messy set of stairs. Stair. They're tough. I don't think I can put a door on the outside of that. Nope. Needs a solid floor. Right, well, tough won't do it. that works. Alright, so then that becomes... These rooms are basically square. One, two, three, four, five, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So nothing on the back wall. Nothing on the internal wall. And it's pushing the door over. But then, like that. And there's a little bit of storage inside this room. This next room is almost really easy to do up. It's only a 3 wide. And in fact is the first external window we've got. And basically it's got a bed on the external wall. Got a door. Obviously no windows. One, two, three, much the same. In fact, almost exactly the same. Like that. Again, we come in, some small stables. Oh, my voice. Something's going up with my voice. And in fact, it shows there's a door right at the very end. With a and in fact, like over there, it's got the little cutout as we go to a turret. Okay, up and over. And there's a bed in there as well, like that. Obviously, much smaller room. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms along the side. That works well. One big room over here. That also works well. Carpeted room. We've got an external turrety thing, which we're working towards. G'day, Rising Phoenix TV. No, not not super new. All right, so we come back over here. We know this wall is going to run up here as well. But this room interior is going to be like this. Now, I need to now work out the size of this internal space. Now, I've moved back. It kind of gives the impression that it's half. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, if we go 2, 3, 4. No, it's just the front of the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about there maybe. So if we move like that, put the flooring down. That's not right. That's supposed to be a double door. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the corner. Turn the corner. Because what you have here is another double doors. Like that. And then you got sweeping stairs, which we'll keep with birch. Like that. And in fact, I think that'll work relatively well. Not sure if, I mean, it's not 100% sure, clear from the diagram, whether it's supposed to be like sealed in like that. Doesn't. Then again, what are you going to put under the stairs? What are you going to put under the stairs otherwise? I can always open them back out. No, that'll come to a floor, won't it? We'll burn that bridge in just a minute. Okay, so we'll come through the backside here. Okay, so that room, that's the internal wall. They want it to come back another one. And then turn. Like that. Don't fall off. It turns. And then they want it a doorway, a single wide. Let's see if this still fits. And then single wide lines up with a window out the front. Yeah, that's not too bad. Then another wide. And then it'll be a door. Then it's turn the corner. The door. That's the edge of the room. How's that work? Mostly good. Mostly. Okay, so that's there. So brick, door, brick. Two more, I think. And then that becomes the back wall. And then that. There. Well, I know that goes like that. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 internal. One doesn't need to be 4, can be 3. Back better off being 3. Nope, I think that's fine for now. We come up to in line with that wall again, and then we step out, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, like that. Something akin to that. Tempted to say that the internal wall is plastered of some sort. I mean, it should be, but All right, as this turns, there's a window there. It calls for 2 windows. It's not going to fit 2 windows. Whoops. Two windows. Fits. Okay. This room comes almost out to there. That's the back room there. And it's got an internal wall there. Yeah, okay. Is it the pathing room? That's a square room. This is a square room here. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, which means that there like that, which means that there like that, which means that's there. Got it. I knew I'd miscalculated the size of some of this stuff. Actually, that's not looking too bad. Look at our square, got our good old square gardens in the middle. Got a large rooms. Got a big room at the back, which is supposed to be longer and narrower, but I guess feels like it should be wider, but again, I've gone deep. No, I got that wrong. Because if I take that as correct, then this is going to be too small, when indications are it's basically the same size as that. I think I need it more on this side. And I'll let this room sit just a little touch narrower, which is fine. Not the end of the world, I don't think. Obviously, there's no internal windows. No internal windows. It's completely closed in. There's a door there. In fact, that's right. There is a gap. And there's a big room off to the side as well. In fact, let's just double check. A big room off the other side. It's not quite symmetrical. Very much not symmetrical. Well, Well, no. Maybe. Possibly. Could be. All right. So we know that comes down there. In fact, there's a doorway there. It's a one wide walkway. Feeds in there. And in fact, that is the start of the staircase. So there we go. That's good there. I'm not very good at doing spiral stairs. But that's there. There's a doorway there. And then that's the back wall of the of the three across. 1, 2, 3. Spiral staircase. Go on. I'll work it out. And then that becomes 1, 2 to there. 1, 2, 3 to there. And then that comes all the way back about halfway up here. The doorway there comes out like that. That comes forward like that. So it's a substantive room, 2, 3, 4. Well, yeah, it is a substantive room. Okay, let's have a look now. Zoom up and have a look. Okay, storeroom, staircase, room. In fact, let's put these doors in so I know what I'm looking at. So off there, off there, off there. This is open. Off there, off there, off there. Yes. Funny enough, the diagram doesn't give it a basement level. I think we could probably put a basement in. Probably. Okay, so that's mostly good. I've got to bring that right back. Yep, that's beside the point. So the problem I now face is an upstairs, which basically, let me get my 1, 2, 3 to ceiling. You kind of think you'd want a higher ceiling. Whatever. But it comes around. Yeah, you got your big stairs. You come up your big stairs. Turn right. In fact, that should follow the wall line below. So turn right. And in fact, that passageway... where's my passageways? Over here. Nope, wrong one. Goes to... That's the external wall there. To there? No, it does go down the wall line. Technically. Like that. And then that will also be there like that, so... Like that? Yeah. And that is actually a roof line there for them. In fact... runs down there. Ah, good question. Where does it go to? It's got a front wall in line with that. Yeah. That's a big room. In fact, it's going to run Windows. Bleh. A doorway? Looks like a doorway. It looks like there's a balcony. I don't know why. Anyway, let's fix up this stair. Stair of mystery. Alright, so you come through from here, this room, down here, hang a right, hang a left, and you hit a staircase. Hooray! That actually works, I think. Mostly. Alright. So that comes all the way up here. Funny enough, there's a window on the staircase out this way. So we'll go there. Like that. Okay, so there's going to be roof lines and all sorts of bits and pieces. I don't know what I'm going to put my roof lines together with, but I'm using brick for the building. Now, the diagram actually has purple. Bold choice. And it not the worst choice in the world, I gotta say. I've seen uglier. Which then means, ooh. Well, that entire floor level is lifted up 1. So if that's my wall line up there, that's my wall line down here. It almost looks a bit like a Roman villa. I'm sure there's big places like this that are big country house estate type things that, to be honest, probably do reside on the remnants of some sort of Roman villa, hence their layouts. Now, the other part is this front one. I'll actually bump up. You can get higher. So, Okay, so it's not going to be as tall as the back one, but it's still going to be 2 rows taller than everyone at the front. Now, it kind of gives the impression it's 2 separate towers, but we'll go 1. Now, it would be a covered walkway. I mean, I could in theory. Let me just finish blocking that in. I mean, if I punch that open like that, be a covered walkway, wouldn't it? In fact, I could move the... No, I can't move them back far enough as it is. I mean, gates would be better. Iron gates. Wait a second. Where are my stairs? Where's my bricks? Brick, 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 brick. Not like that. There we go. Yeah. In fact, bring that down. And there, then there's an arch. Because that way you've also got a bit of a weather protection. I was going to say, I think that really works well. What we do have here, though, is... Like I said, there's a colonnade. Nope, no, not there. Now, it wants to be... It's a fence. It's going to be a fence. Do I have a white fence? I'm going to go... no, not iron bars. Sandstone? No. I'm going to go brick. Diorite? Like I said, the reason... I got a feeling that probably is a bit too wide. Given that it's as high as the higher roof line. You see, that's a lot more appropriate there. No. No. That needs to be a separate lot. That needs to be a separate roof line. Okay, that's a little better. Little. Okay, that one, I'll bring that up to a slab. Get rid of that. Which gives me elevation. Alright, that's good. Now, bring these off. I mean, that works. Looks a little bulky there. Okay, purple. Oh, anyway, Oscar was working over here. Whoops. Whoops. I think that goes there. That works. Again, I don't know how tall these windows are going to be. I mean, floor to ceiling isn't a bad choice. especially for high-end rooms. Now, these rooms are not covered. I better put some torches, some lanterns out, because that looks very dark. One there. One there. Oh, there is a window. Couple in here. At least one in there. Oh, it'll run in like that. Um, it almost implies, given that there's windows. Or even a flat roof. I don't think it... I don't think these lower levels are designed for flat roofs. I really don't. But now that I know that that's the case, these are definitely internals. Like that. No, that's too wide. Here we go, have a rest. Alright, so they out to there is solid. We hit the top of the stairs. We turn right. That shouldn't be there. Because that's supposed to be a wall. But unless it's a wall that's come all the way up from ground floor. I think I'm tempted to just do this. Okay, so that's the end of the stairs there. So that does come forward one. It does sort of go back one. I don't think this is a high status room. That is. This isn't. Yeah, that room needs to be... I need to push this forward another one. Better. I mean, it's not great. It should be wider, but I can't squeeze that in. Okay, windows on the outside. That's external. That's external. Ah, I see what that does. It sets a doorway like that as a doorway and come in, small landing, spiral staircase down. Got it. Like that. Yes. And then you got a big room here. Big room. And there is an internal door up there. All right. I'm probably going to call it a night fairly soon. We've been doing all right. Getting things done. Obviously that's an internal wall. It wants, well, a lot more windows in the front. Not going to happen. You can have that. And it wants this to have 2 windows. And it wants a balcony there as well. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, that's there. This ceiling is going to be straight timber, because it's over a big room below. Oh, there's no doorway. And in fact, that then becomes like that. We'll put a railing in. What color? No speaker. What? I'm not getting any sound? Should be getting sound. I hear me. Big window. Ah, hang on. How many wide's that? That's a bed and 1 lined up there. Window there. Oh, and a door. Door there. Okay, that's proceeding. Back, let's have a look. That's working. Working. I do need to push that back. But it's much the same over here. In fact, like I said, it's going to be symmetrical in essence. Big room, massive room, big room. There goes 2 little rooms, so that it gets split up. That goes big room, straight room, staircase. Yeah. Right. Let's work on this side over here. Where's my pillars? Where's my walls? Okay. I'll put these up. I mean, you might render the walls in stone. I mean, brick looks okay. I have been building in terracotta. Think. I have stairs though. I mean, mostly okay. I don't think I have slabs. No, it's it's brick. So I can just do a replace brick with like terracotta. That might work. Okay, so let's... And then it turns back. And it turns out. Okay, and it's going to be much the same as on ground level. Right. Now these don't have windows until there. Right, fair enough. Well, okay, there we go. Yeah, well, there's a window there. Right, huzzah! Right, I could push a ceiling on, but not at the moment. I gotta think. I think terracotta would actually be a better option. I think. But first things first, we're gonna fix this up. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2. And it steps back based on that wall, and then goes along like that. Here's my brick. Like that, yeah. And we're gonna a door in basically the exact same location. Hurrah! And then it's another one out, which I've got, and then it just turns, the wall turns. There is no door. Nor is there a cake. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Look at that. And on ground level, it's got very similar. Well, surprise. It's basically a mirror. I really should put some torches, some lanterns down. Alright, fill in the floor. Like that. Alright, big room is done. Done. Okay. like that. Now, what I've got coming off here is a single passageway like that. And it's the same size as the one down here. Which then on the other side of the wall is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the turn. So comes back 2. That right? Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the turn. Same windowing. Yep, only 3 wide. And then kicks back another 1. And then back out again. It comes... Wait a second. Says it comes out 2. Oh, it comes out 2 for the turn. Be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, come back out 2, and then that's the outer wall. Yep. That's actually grass in there. Well, actually, it's down 1. Hooray! Okay, and then that's massive. But if we take that as being the same width, so it's an internal floor width of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 5, 6 internal floor. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's actually a door there. Find where that wall is. That one? Yes, that one. There's a turn there. There's a doorway kind of in the middle. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then how far that sticks out, plus the turn, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six. Yep, perfect. Three. All right. Breather. Ah. All right, so we come down to that corner. 1, 2, and then it steps back 3. All right, so this line is where it steps out 2. Does. On the second, it steps back 3. One, two, three, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, it does work. Vaguely. I got a bunch of terraforming to fix up next week. But we're making good progress. Yeah, it's going to come back. Yeah, that was a mistake. Double mistake. I mean, I got a fill in over here. Got to fix the other stuff up, and I still haven't put the top floor on yet. Or the... Oh, what's what I was going to do? I was going to put railings on. It would be... Cherry blossom? No, cherry's the wrong colour. Mangrove might work. Nope. Right, there's our safety railing. There's our big door, the door there. Door there. Door there. Door there. Door there. Door there. Right, so this room actually has two doors to the spiral staircase. What did that end up being? 1, 2, 3, 2. Basically a 3 by 3. is what that's got is a door from in there, a door from in there. Therefore means no, it wants to go that way. Come in. Gotta get it over the top of that stair door somehow. Okay, so we come in, go up. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Top. Used to be right. Anyway, let's... finish putting in this bottom level. Like that. I'm not sure. Maybe that. I don't know. I'll have to double check. Yeah, that's in there. That's in there. This place has... a door opposite a window like that. Bring the bricks down. There's no internal window. No internal window. No internal window. There is a window. Give it a decent window. It's a big room. No window on that side. Another decent window. And again, we have a window on the staircase. Is too high at the moment. Roughly like that. I got to fix out that top level anyway. Haven't finished the floor just yet. All right, so this room up here is going to have much the same. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's going to push back on top of that. Yep. But this one is going to be, going to have its upstairs and there. And then come in one, push across. How far across does that come? 2. So end of the staircase. Two more. And that runs down, well, shouldn't run all the way. I mucked that. Outer wall. 1, 2, and then in. Outer wall. 1, 2, and then in. Must have gone too far. Okay, looking at a door pretty much directly above. A door directly above. A door one, 2, 3. Door there. Lined up with a window. And then no doors after that. Like that. It's going to be an interesting place when it's all lit up and decorated and everything. Again, not sure that the purple is the best colour. Wouldn't call it that. And then there's going to be a door roughly there. A little bit off-centered that way. And then, whilst there may be brickwork there, there's going to be a door there. And a door there. Right, and then out the front here, obviously no windows down there. At the front here, it wants 2 windows. Did I do the same thing over there? I did. I put, where did I put that? Oh, don't jump down there. I haven't finished the walls. Okay, there's a small room here. Okay, so you can access there. There's a door in there. Yeah. Oh, that works. Okay, I've got to bring these walls up. Put a roof on. Got to finish the windows. Well, all the windows in. Bring this roof up. Put the roof on there. Push this back. But otherwise, I think it's looking okay. I mean, I don't know necessarily that I like the the purple roof. But it is in a cherry biome. I think I will swap the brick for terracotta. I'm going to pave this yet. I put something there, not sure what that is going to be just yet. Some sort of decorative thing. We've got our windows, and we've got our decorations to do. Got our big rooms off here. Big room off here. Big private room up here. Massive room down here. All the rooms. I mean, it's a lot of build for the night. I mean, we are finishing early too. So, let's have a chat, put some tunes on, close it out. I mean, I'm impressed with what we've achieved. I was not expecting to get anywhere near that level of completion tonight. He just... And I probably should make the gatehouse proper. I mean, there should be an arch on the other side. It should be... Yeah, I'll fix it. We got the colonnades inside. It's almost like a monastery, a cloister. Almost like a cloister, but it's not. Can't put it... It's going to be... Anyway. Big thank you to everyone coming out tonight. Regulars, first-timers, chatters, lurkers. Across all the various endpoints. Thank you very much for being here. The channel wouldn't be the same without you, no matter where you are. Alright, what have we got coming up next? We have... we have a giveaway tomorrow night, if you want in on that. Hit the socials, or hit the Discord. You'll find a channel in there called Giveaways. Head in there, you'll find a blue button, click the blue button, and you're automatically in the draw. This week it is for a copy of Squirrel with a Gun. So good luck to everybody with that. Tomorrow night's stream is... I do know what it is. Submerged Hidden Depths. So we had a pretty good session last week with Submerged. I managed to finish it off stream. So no plat, just 100%. So got that done. So we'll be running Hidden Depths tomorrow night. Monday night, Mass Effect 2. Wednesday night, I do know what I'm playing. Pillars of Eternity, Deadfire. Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Friday night is Prince of Persia, the 2008 game. I'm going to be playing that twice. Wasn't having a great run with it on Friday, so we're not going to be pushing through without hurt. And then next Saturday back here, continuing with our Minecraft SMP multiplayer setup. So look forward to everyone with that. If you want to keep on top of things, we do stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 9 PM to midnight, Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you do want to keep on top of it though, check the socials, mainly Twitter and Insta. I do put messages out on both of those before each stream, indicating what we're in. The Discord will pick those messages up and send them along as well. And it also punches a message out when the stream goes live and the streams of some of our friends over there as well. So, good place to hang out. Otherwise, very good night from me to all of you. And we'll see you all again next stream.